So we will be starting now. We are waiting for a little while we solve a few technical problems. But anyway, while we do wait for this, hi everyone. Hi Paula, thanks for saying hi. Uh, let's start off with a really quick question. So, did any of you think about going outside for getting, experience? Going abroad, going out of your country for getting experience. Maybe going to the U.S. or such. Can you say yes, 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 yes? Paula thought about going. Yes, amazing. Somebody else? More people? Yes, Jonas also did think about this. Paula, where do you think about going? Where would you like to go? California. Wow. Well, that's interesting that you say that. And
Mhm.
Jonas, how about you? That's weird. Just the rest of you can also say yes. I have thought about going somewhere, and then you can say where. No preference. Well, that's also good. That's not a problem. There's lots of places. Yes, it is nice. California is nice.
And
So
the weather, especially.
it's amazing. So I'm here writing from Munich, and Natalia is here from
Poznan and
Poznan.
Poznan.
And we are waiting for one more colleague. How about the rest of you? Where are you streaming from? Where are you right now? Galicia. Lovely Galicia. Incredible food. Spain. Simon from Munich. Madrid. Wow. The Spain
Nice.
sector is very big. Spain. Nice, Fernando. Yes. He's an IO. Uh, uh, um, let's see. Can we get Andre up here, maybe? Andre, are you able to go up to present? If not, we may have to start. Ljubljana, Slovenia. Nice. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone. Let's see. If Andre can hear me, could you go up? Or maybe Natalie, could you write to him?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yes,
to
sure.
present. Yes. Meantime, we'll be sharing the presentation. Share now. So now you will understand why I asked if you would like to go out abroad and where would you like to go. This is the Beyond Europe info session. This is an info session that's supposed to give you information on how to best go abroad and get experience, work with a mentor, an experienced entrepreneur, and all that in less than 30 minutes. This is for the I program, the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs Global Program. And today we will be presenting this to you, of course. So, what's on the menu today? So, we will be introducing the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs Global Program, the various destinations, as well as funding options. We will be having a feature NE who has already done this program, explain to you what she did. She is right now in a very nice beach. So I think this will motivate people also. And at the end, we will be taking your questions and answering them, of course. So let's get to it. The Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs Global Program is an exchange program, and it takes place internationally in the US, Canada, Israel, South Korea, Taiwan, and Singapore. And it lasts between 1 to 3 months. So you will be, if you do take part in this program, you will go out to one of these destinations. You just have to apply through one of your local intermediary organization. What is in a local intermediary organization? That could be Unternehmertum, that could be PPNT, or that could be SPI, for example, which are presenting here. That would be me, for example. I'm representing Unternehmertum. Natalia is representing PP&T. And is Andre up here already? I can't see because I'm presenting. Natalia?
He is not here, but can you make him an as a position?
Whose position?
Can
Oh, I didn't do that, did I?
And that I think that's the problem why Andrea is
Ah,
not
yes.
here.
That's the stage. I added him to the stage.
Can you hear me now? And can you
We can
see?
hear you, Andre. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you for the patience to everybody, by the way.
No worries, no worries. So, again, this is Andre. Andre, feel free to also present yourself. I think this is the first time you are joining us in this event.
True. It is the first time I can do. Do I have 2 minutes to present myself at the moment?
Yes, please take 2
Yeah,
minutes.
wonderful. So my name is Andre, as Adrian already said a couple of times, but I didn't hear it before.
Sorry.
I work for IO, which represents the consortium for the Southeast Asian countries. So it means that we represent Singapore, Taiwan, and Korea within the iGlobal program. And these will be also the countries that I'm going to present to you today, talking a little bit about them so that you can know a little bit more about these wonderful countries in the Southeast Asia, which are very interesting for entrepreneurship experience. And I think, and I would also cherish this idea that for everybody here which is interested in entrepreneurship to go to this region of the world, it's a major asset because it's a highly competitive region, but it's also very, very interesting, not only in terms of cultural approach, but also in terms of what can you learn here, and you will be learning with the best. So this is my first taking. Thank you all.
Exactly. Only the best for the best. Now, this is a quick description of the program. Again, to be able to take part in the iGlobal program, you have to be you have to be a citizen of the EU or the UK. Well, and if you have that luck, be a permanent resident in the EU or the UK, and have an intention of being an entrepreneur, or if you already are an entrepreneur, have less than 3 years of experience. These are the criteria you have to follow, and once you are in these criteria, you are able to join the program. Now, moving on to more things about the program. So, as we said, there are various destinations, and the first one is the US. Now, it's not the whole US, it is California and the New York State region. So, California, we all know California is the global center of technology innovation. Everything that has to do with startups came from here. We know about this. It became global through Silicon Valley. Lots of major players, lots of major technologists, ventures, such. Very good place to go. And of course, good weather. Then, of course, New York, very business friendly, very large talent pool, lots and lots of things. It's a very good place to test out a market. They say there's a group of people from each part of the world in New York, so you can find them there, no problem. That's New York. Canada. So Canada, that's in the Ontario region and the Quebec region. Ontario, lots and lots of educated talents in all kinds of fields: science, technology, engineering, math. Very competitive and very business friendly. Lots of sectors, aerospace, automotive, food processing, such and such and such. Quebec, very cheap to start there, and very, very cheap in such of living costs, especially these days where living costs are going up. Quebec could be a good place to go. And then a lot of business sectors, including IT, electronics, life science, and so on. Then we have Israel, very innovative, lots of research and development. A very good place to go if you are focusing on R&D, cybersecurity. Lots of good infrastructures for entrepreneurs, very supportive. And of course, a beach. And Andrea, I think you will continue from here for the Asian regions.
Sure. Then I will present Asian region, and I will remind you that we are going to present three countries, and these three countries are then represented by different organizations. SPI, which is my organization, represents Singapore. Taiwan is represented by EBN, and South Korea, for all of those who prefer to go to South Korea, they should address their contacts to Promos Italia, which is the representative of the country. So regarding to Singapore, it's a very and a highly cosmopolitan city-state. So it's not really a country as we normally imagine a country. This is a very small portion of land, but it's very innovative. It's driven to success, and it has wonderful infrastructures. Besides, one thing that is good to all of us, it has minimal levels of bureaucracy. So a lot of things can be accomplished in Singapore in a very short of time because the country and the government, it's very driven oriented. If we can go to Taiwan.
Yes.
Wonderful. So Taiwan, it's definitely one of the Asian largest economies, and it's a manufacturing powerhouse. Just for you to have an idea, Foxconn, the company that produces the iPhones, it's Taiwanese. So probably most of you will have an iPhone on their pockets. It came from Taiwan. So that is already a major asset. It has very good welcoming conditions for international entrepreneurship. And well, I'm going just to describe you some of the main fields of investment and innovation in Taiwan, which is biotech and pharmaceuticals, green energy, national defense. It goes for smart machinery and IoT. Plus, it has two concepts which are very interesting: circular economy and agricultural development. Why is this important? Because although Southeast Asia is very focused on electronics, you also have different fields that you can explore in all of these countries. So South Korea. Wonderful, thank you. So South Korea, it's very famous by all of us for its vibrant cultural and international outreach. Who doesn't know K-pop or Korean drama? So I guess we all do. And if you lived in Asia, then you have been exposed to these pretty much daily in any country of Asia. It also has a very friendly regulatory environment to business. The government has a huge support of investing and entrepreneurship. It's definitely one of the largest economies in the world. It's the lead development in electronics, automobile, telecommunication with Samsung and semiconductors. So it's a major asset for all of those who want to work in industry or entertainment, that's for sure.
Lots of amazing places, lots of amazing destinations, and many mentors and host entrepreneurs that will help you in all of these great places. So these are the places, of course, destinations, very interesting. What do we have for you? So if you do choose one of these destinations, you will have a monthly stipend. That's the one with the money bag symbol, and a one-time lump sum for travel. That's the one with the plane symbol. So what does this mean? If you choose Canada, you will be getting 800 euros for your travel ticket to go to Canada. Yeah, just use that wisely. And a 900 euro stipend per month for your living costs, depending on how many months you go. So if you go 1 month, you'll have 900. If you go 2 months, 900 times 2, and so on and so forth until 3 months. USA, 1,000 euros monthly stipend, 800 euros one-time lump sum. Israel, 900 monthly stipend, 600 euros for the travel. Taiwan, 700 monthly, 800 for travel. Singapore, 1,000 monthly, 800 for travel. And finally, South Korea, 900 monthly and 800 for the travel. Very interesting. Take a picture of this if you want. So, Natalia.
Yeah, sure.
Would you like to bring in some of the ways they can match with HE, and then also bring in the NE after this one?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
So I just want to remind you that we have 3 ways of matching with HE. Firstly, in main, which is just surfing through our database in the IT tool, just to check if there is someone who you would like to be interested to collaborate with. Or the another option is to propose a business partner after your prior contact, and you recruit the company which you would be interested to collaborate with. And the another option, third one, is to create a fact sheet about you. And in this destination, we have a partner who can suggest the potential host for you. So we have 3 ways of looking for the AG, and I am sure that one of them would be suitable for you, and we'll find the host for you this way or any other. Okay, we can move to the next slide.
Justina.
Justina, can you hear us?
Oh, maybe I have to bring her up. Wait a second.
Yes, please. So, anyways, we have that pleasure to host Justina from Latvia. Oh, I can hear Justina, I guess.
Oh, really? Well,
That's
makes
a very
sense.
nice
I'm in an
background.
open space.
Oh, yeah. So very pleasure to have you here, and that you have some time to share your experience with us. Justina had her collaboration in New York with Anna Snyder, and they set the goal for their exchange just to get the knowledge about the running a business in US, discover new markets, set up the company, and so on. And let's find out how looks Justina experience.
So,
So,
hi.
Justina, you can hear us clearly. Everything is fine.
I can hear you, but I'm not sure if you can hear me because the reception here is not good.
We can
I
hear
think
you.
it's acceptable. It's good.
Okay.
Okay. So, could you tell us how did you go about defining your match?
So, of course, the first instinct is to go through a system to see what's there, to explore, to find some matches that might be acceptable for you as, per your goal that you have for the trip itself. So my case wasn't like that. I decided, like, the minute I knew what I wanted to do, I decided that I'm gonna look for a person who would match my personality, who would match my goals, business-wise, because there are plenty of choices in the system, but it just wasn't my choice. So I decided to go through every social media platform, look for possible candidates to be kind. Oh, sorry for that.
Ooh, that's harsh.
Yeah, they're fixing some heights here, so. um, So I decided to, went through social media. I found my. Well, this is gonna be a tough session, isn't it? So I found my match on Instagram. Actually, I wrote a few people, and Anna was the one who responded. Sure, let's do it. See how it goes. And at that moment, actually, when I was writing to her, I was thinking, like, she's definitely not going to reply. That's a person who has over 100,000 followers on Instagram. She has plenty of stuff to do. So decided, like, whatever, what am I going to lose? So I just reached out on Instagram, and then it just clicked.
It was easier than you thought.
Yeah. exactly. You just have to put yourself out there, and it happens.
Okay. Thank you for that answer. I think that it's really useful information for all participants who want to find their host by their own, or they have specific requirements to having HE. And could you tell us how did you get into the commitment plan? Whether it was difficult to identify common priorities?
At first, when you look at it, documentation, so many questions, even know the answers, So at first it looked difficult, but throughout the process, when you start doing it, when you start to the person who you're going to be working with, it becomes easier because you find common ground. So everything becomes a little bit more flexible than you thought. And of course, another side of it is that from your side, I always had all the help I needed. So even if I had a question that I thought was unanswerable, I always got an answer from you on how to proceed, what to do. Even if I thought that it's something that I won't be able to solve, I always had someone to count on, to help with any problem that occurred through the process. So I think the theoretical part is hard, but then you start doing it and it becomes easier. And finding common ground wasn't that difficult because we are both in the same niche. We both believe in the same things. That's why, I was looking for someone who would match the personality, who would match the sense of business, who would match the sense of industry. So it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be because all the help have to put in, at least some of effort.
Thank you for that answer. Just a reminder, you can always count on us. We always will help you with any doubts or problems or questions. Yeah. Justina, and how did you establish a good connection with your host entrepreneur? How would you describe it?
So, as you would with probably any person, right? So you start talking more. Even before we met in US, we had a few calls. We talked about what's her life about regarding business, what I want to do, what is something common that we can find, where can we help each other. So because her personality was very outgoing and she was very good at communication, it was rather easy to establish a relationship because I'm the same way. So we just somehow matched. We talked a lot before we met. We talked a lot while we were working together, and we even talk now. So we just somehow found something that connects us, and it's the industry itself, the marketing part of the business, and so on. So those common topics that you can find with your host, it helps you push through that whole relationship.
So it's all about the communication, as always.
I actually, I think this is one of the words that I use. As a student, when I was in a student union, I got tired of people not talking to each other, not saying, even if, they're just doing a simple task and something doesn't work out the way they wanted to, nobody would know. And I got, because, if you don't know, you can't fix that, but you can fix what you know. So they didn't talk. So I got that people didn't talk. I just put a huge writing on the wall saying #communication. It's been 5 or 6 years. It's still there.
And it worked out.
yeah, it seems like it's a good word.
Yeah. Did you have any problems getting the visa to stay in the US?
I don't think so. Well, I've been in US before, So I already knew the process. It's just filling out the form. So it's not that complicated unless you're in the country that requires some sort of more documentation or something like that. So I can't speak for both nationalities, but for Lithuanians, for any European country, it's not a problem. You just fill out the form. You pay, I don't know, 15, 14
Dollars.
something dollars, something dollars. and and in a couple of days you get either an approval or disapproval. And I don't know, I think you have to be a criminal to not get an approval. So it wasn't really a complicated process.
It's really much easier now that you have an access to just click on the internet and apply for the visa or just permission to travel. So
I mean, it's not like it's 15 years ago, when you
Yeah.
have to go to the embassy, fill out forms, keep your documents there, make sure that you didn't have any arrests and whatever.
Well, in
So-
Poland 6 years ago, it was like you are describing. So I am really happy that we just jump into another. Okay,
I
maybe.
mean,
Yeah.
I was visiting Egypt last spring after I came back from US. I came to the airport and I said, this is the best distribution of workforce I have ever seen. I think they have, I think that if they operate in that way in every sector they have, there is no people who don't work there. So you basically come to the airport, there is a person checking your COVID information. 5 steps further, person checking your passport. 5 steps further, another person checking your visa. 5 steps further, another person checking whatever. And I'm sitting there like, one person could do that, in any airport. And I'm thinking like, oh, so they're trying to make everyone work, So, I mean, every country is very different, but I'm glad that Europe is getting to the easier bureaucracy processes,
Me too, especially as a Polish person. Okay. How about your accommodation? Did you how did you find your flat during your stay in the US?
So at first I thought this is going to be a very difficult thing, but my first approach was to find something in New York so I wouldn't have to travel or whatever, but then I realized that traveling from one place in New York to the place I would need to go takes the same amount of time as going from New Jersey to New York by bus, and you still take the same bus, So I decided to look for a place in New Jersey. And the place, and it was like 3.5 times cheaper than New York.
That's a lot.
So it's not actually odd. New Jersey is rather cheaper than New York, because New York is a big city, and New Jersey, as a state, it reminded me of Lithuania, Poland, like Latvia, Estonia, any country that's around us, because we have so much nature there, forests, and if you want to be at the big city, you can be there in an hour. So, it doesn't take that long to travel, and it's a much cheaper state. So I just decided to rent, an apartment room there. It cost me less. I got to, go by bus every day to see the scenery and so on. So at the end, I think it worked out rather good, because I still experienced big city, and I still had the chance to stay in the nature, which is, for me, it was a necessity. If it's a big city, I'm fine with it, but I still need nature. So I found work for me in best way for my personality and for the purpose that I came there for,
Yeah, So 2 in 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. So it costed you much cheaper than staying in New York, yeah. So it's
A
good
lot, a
squeeze
lot.
for anyone who would like to go
Yeah,
to New York.
yeah.
What would you tell about your experience with PP&C on a board and helping them, especially me, in that case?
So, I mean, my whole experience, I didn't have any bad experience, either it was traveling or it was documents or whatever part of the whole journey, because I mentioned before, I always had someone to help me, even if I had a question that I thought was out of this world and nobody would know what to do. There was always someone to figure out what to do, you know. So even people here, like they're in Lithuania, trying to figure out, hey, you have a problem, let's fix this, let's see, you know, what's the issue. Even with some documentations, I remember there being some sort of back and forth sending of a plan, and I was just sitting there thinking, oh my god, how long is this gonna take? Like, I'm not even gonna go there, probably we're not gonna accept something, you know, the anxiety kicks in and you're just all over the moon. But I remember, Natalia, especially because I work directly with you, you were so supportive, and even if I was the one who was lacking somewhere, you were always reminding me, like, hey, do you want to do that? Like, let's see how this goes so we can roll this as quick as possible. So my whole process was as smooth as I can't even compare it to anything, you know, because it was really, for me, it was a perfect experience. I didn't have any problems. Like, everything was fixed, even if it was a small issue, a big issue, doesn't matter.
Especially that we were doing all stuff before Christmas time, so
Yeah.
really great that we find out everything well before that busy time.
I mean, yeah, I remember both of us pushed for it to happen as quick as possible because I wanted to leave as quick as possible. You wanted me to go as quick as possible. So I remember us pushing, and you know, our people coming back and saying, hey, it's not gonna be as quick as you want, and we're sitting there like, oh well, you know, what can we do? So through every, I wouldn't even call it a struggle or a problem, through every inconvenience that came, we always found a solution. I don't know, for me it was a perfect experience.
That's the great summary. For every inconvenience, there is solution. So don't just worry to ask us. We will help you as much we can. And Justina, for the end, how would you summarize your participation in iGlobal?
Well, so already summarized it. it was it was perfect for me, and I mean, I think it's important to understand that even if you go there with a goal that, I don't know, you're gonna build your business, you're gonna, you know, do awesome things after you come back and so on, it's definitely not gonna be as quick as you want it to be. Everything takes time and a lot of work. You're probably gonna many things that you thought you'd be interested in. So, I mean, you go in there, you see what happens, and you think that, wait, that's not what I, you know, in my mind, it was different. I don't want that. So, even though you're all over the moon because getting an opportunity to go to another country, to meet other business people, to have so many contacts, connections, and everything, you have to understand that after those 3 months, you will still have to put in a lot of work and a lot of dedication to achieve what you want to achieve. But if you are really about the purpose of, you know, what you want to do, it's gonna be easier. And even if you have expectations for yourself, it's okay. If you have expectations for other people, remember that, you know, those expectations don't have to be met because it's your expectations, it's not other person's expectations. Like, it's not that I come here and say, hey, I expect I'm going to do that for you, you know. So the more you communicate with your host, the more you work on your self-awareness, the easier the trip and the process after the trip is going to be. Overall, my experience was really good. I had a very good host. We had a good relationship. We still work together to this day. So, you know, just try to find that perfect match for your personality, and it's going to be as smooth as it can get.
Yeah. Thank you for that short interview or even talk. I hope that your experience would help anyone who is participating today in our event. And you will have the chance to ask Justina in the Q&A section. So yeah, let's move on.
Thank you, Justina.
Let's start Q&A section.
Communication is key. And with that, let's communicate. Let's see what you're saying. So some people have already been writing in the Q&A section. I will start with questions targeting Justina, just in case. You know, maybe some Turkish man wants to cut more, you know, bars or metal. So let's see. Justina, this is a question by Paula, from Paula. Justina, which visa did you get to go to the US? Because you actually don't need a working visa, right?
Yeah. So I got an ESTA, I'm not like a regular traveling visa for, you know, just visiting the country. So you don't need anything specific besides that. But then you come to US, make sure you don't use words like I'm coming here for work or I'm coming here for
Internship.
business or internship. You know, just avoid those words, because if you're gonna say I'm coming here for work, then they're gonna ask for your work visa and you're actually not working, you know, you're just exchanging and so on.
Yeah.
Else, but don't use coming here for work. You know.
Yeah, you are going for a business exchange, and that's the point. Because you are not
Exactly.
getting the salary and so on from the host, so that's not a work.
Very good tip, Justina. Very good. Paula also asked, I don't know if this is for everyone, but I guess you can also answer, Justina, on your approach, I guess, on getting a company you like.
Oh, so the way I approached her, I just wrote a very, well, not short, but not that long message saying, hey, I'm Justina. I'm currently thinking about this program that they have. I'm not sure if you heard about it, you know, all that sorts of stuff. I'm interested in that. Maybe you would like to learn more. Maybe we could schedule a call or something like that so we could discuss. So basically just present yourself in a few short sentences and just say what's your goal of a message is. Like, you know, I want to work with you through my exchange. Would you be open to, you know, just learning more? Don't push them to say, hey, would you want to accept me? Just first try them to the whole process and the program itself, so they would understand what they're getting of it, you know, before pushing them to agree to something.
Yeah, first impression is really important.
It's always communication. It always goes back to communication.
Yeah.
So next question. I think this could go to either Andre or Natalia. So feel free to answer this if you wish. Paula says, many host entrepreneurs say to work full time pretty much. Even though we are learning, we are not Erasmus students anymore. We need to keep working on our side to go abroad. And I wonder advice how. Oh, okay. This was connected to the other one. So sorry for that. Next one. Can I participate as a student in Italy with Italian student permit?
Well,
Between brackets. Yeah.
well, if you have European citizenship, you can. If it depends, You should choose the IO from the country which you stayed more than 183 days in a year. I know that that might be difficult, but I will try to help you to understand. So the main thing is to have European citizenship. The another thing is to apply with the IO where you stay for more than 183 days per year. That's
Exactly.
the most rule. Yep.
Andre, do you want to say anything else, or was this good?
You need
You're
to
mute.
unmute you yourself.
True. I need to unmute myself. That's for sure. That is, I think that this part, it's easier to understand when you are enrolling as a intention of being part of the program. So just pretty much you have to go through the requirements of the program to understand that you need to be European student. Also, British people can also be part. We need to foster that message again, because I had a situation a while ago where a couple of people from UK were uncertain if they could enter in the program or not. But this is European Union plus UK. There is
Right.
no Brexit here. And whether you're going to be part of which IO, usually if you are traveling a lot, it can be confusing. But for most people, we don't travel that much, and we usually are in the same place for at least half a year. And if you are in the same place for at least half a year, just it's easy. Just go to that IO of the country where you are.
Right.
And of course, if you need any help, send us an email. We will help you. We'll always help you. Next question for either Natalia or Andre. Jonah says, "Do I work on my own company when I'm abroad, or do I work for the company of my mentor?"
That's an interesting question. If you have your company, you work for your company. This is a mentorship program. It's not an internship program. So it's a business exchange. You are working for yourself. You are learning for yourself, and you are improving yourself. You are not working for your mentor. You can eventually collaborate in your mentor's company, but this is a collaboration. You are not working for it. You are collaborating as long as that is profitable for you, as long as you can work from that, as long as that will help you grow. But you cannot and you should not put too many hours on that task, which will then forfeit your own self growth. So your focus is yourself, and establish a good relation with your host entrepreneur also means that there is a lot you can learn from his company, the way he directs his company and manages it. And this will be all obviously helpful for you in the future when you have your own. But you need to be very self-aware of your priorities, and your company, your idea, it's the priority.
Right.
Exactly.
I wouldn't explain it better. Thank you, Andrea.
So good, so good. That's why he's here. That's why he's here. Okay, I think there are no more questions. If you do have more questions, then we will be opening now a section, which is the networking section. So when you entered, you saw that there's lots of tables, lots of chairs, lots of people all around. That means you can go around, move around, double click on each table, and you will go to that table. If you see somebody you want to talk to, you go to that table. If you would, talk to somebody, just unmute yourself. If you want to have your camera on, also have that camera on. Oh, would it be possible to ask using the microphone? Paula, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put you up here. You can ask your question. Come up here at the stage. Yes. Just unmute your microphone if you wish.
Hi.
Hi,
Sorry.
Paula.
Hi. Sorry. You hear me?
Yes, we
We
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Sorry. I think it's so much better if I, because I've been enrolled in this program last year And I mean, I really want to do it, but I find myself sometimes that it's hard for me. I'm trying to look for a company on my own because I really want to go to California. But sometimes, like I also talk with some companies on the database, and many of them, I found myself like, okay, we're not going to match because they are thinking that I will work like pretty much full time for them, and it's taking me like some time to communicate. This is not an internship. This is an exchange. So I wonder, especially maybe to Justina that already did it, like how can I approach them, in terms of explaining what the program is exactly about? Because yeah. So if I had if I had the same experience as you, my first go-to step would be to talk to Natalia because I mean, yes, you communicate with the companies, but they are still in the program. So there are people responsible for the companies from the program side, as I understand. Um, and those people responsible should communicate with the company more directly about how the whole exchange should happen. I don't think it's your responsibility to but specifically, like every detail to them. But maybe you could like schedule a call with them, include more people from like Natalia or someone else from their side to talk about how this relationship should work so they wouldn't have some unrealistic expectations of what you're going to do there. So I would work more closely with your organization of presents the program. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that was my main question because yeah, it's now the time that I really want to do it, so I'm putting a lot of effort into doing that research as well. So thank you.
Exactly, Paula. Motivation. Don't give up.
Yeah.
That's how it
Don't
goes.
give up and contact us if you would have any company who would be interested in a prior before
Sure.
after your prior contact, and we will explain and recruit them to the project. So it should
But I
go.
contact my local point, right? First to tell them like the company that
No,
is
no. You contact me as a HIO
okay.
intermediary organization.
Okay,
Which
okay.
is a good moment to switch slides to the contact. Yes, these are the people you contact. Me, that's Adrian, Unternehmerin in Munich. Just that one. Yeah, that email. Then Natalia, do you want to say something about Postman, BPMT?
Well, as you may know already, we are a HIO organization, I project. So if you would have any company who you would like to start your collaboration, please contact us, especially for California state. We cover that state, and I am first contact for the California. So yeah, just contact us, and we will find out the way to match you with the ideal host for you.
Exactly. And then Andre from Sociedade Portuguesa de Inoação. Tell us.
Very good accent. Adrian. Very well read. Congratulations on that. Well, definitely, if you are interested in Singapore, we are representing Singapore here. So for all of you which probably have some interest in Asia, and that's a wonderful place for entrepreneurship, that's for sure. If you want to go for Singapore, if you already browsed, if you have ideas of possible mentors in the country, contact us. We of course then we address all the processes of entering contact with with those people to explain them the program, to avoid what Paulo was saying, which is that she has to be the bearer of some news, that it's not an internship. Usually we don't want people to say that. We do that process. So we present the program, we give those news, we explain everything, because this is our task. Our task is not only to give that information, but also to prepare the very best exchange program that you are able to foster contacts so that you can have alternatives in the country and to help you in everything that is needed. So
Exactly. Very well.
we are your point of contact for Singapore. That's what we are.
Yeah,
Exactly.
thank you.
And of course, I want to give a chance to Justina if she wants to share any contact details, any contact information, or if not, it's fine also. But just to give you an opportunity. No?
Justina?
Is it possible that Adrian is just off? Because I can't see his camera anymore. Can you
No,
hear me?
I see my camera.
Yeah,
Fine.
we can hear you, Justina.
Okay. So I mean, even if you have any questions from the other perspective, not necessarily from all the bureaucracy part or exchange and everything, like from the experience part, you can always, find me on LinkedIn or Facebook, Instagram, like any social media platform you think of, I think I'm on it. so you can definitely write me a message. We can schedule a call if you want to, discuss some more. I'm a very open person regarding experiences, so if you see that I can help you somehow, just feel free to reach out.
Thank
Exactly.
you.
Well said. Nice. Thank you all.
I want to just remind that we cover also New York instead of California, of course. Also the Israel and
Canada.
Singapore as well, and Canada. Yeah. Sorry.
So that was it for the presentation. Now feel free to stay here a bit longer in the networking section. So this will end, this presentation mode will end, and you will go back to the tables and chairs and the faces and such, and you can move around and ask questions. We'll be staying here as long as the last person will be there. Well, maybe some people want to have lunch, so who knows? But cool that. Justina, you feel free to stay here also while you're there in that beautiful beach. And yeah, that was it. Thanks, everyone. Thanks so much. And see you around.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
How do I end this? Am I ending this? Present off.